Change has come to America.
Believe it.
Help is on the way.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
This is America. Because a giant fraud has been perpetrated on this country with regard to what the Second Amendment is for. The words militia are in the Constitution many, many times, well-regulated militias. This is not a absolute right to own a gun at all. This is not an absolute right to own a semi-automatic weapon of war. This is not a right that any American should think they have by virtue of the Constitution. If you think that you have the right to own a gun, it's because Republican legislators have told you that and legislated thusly. And so when we have a caller from Louisiana who is concerned because she knows that her red state legislature is trying to create even more of a threatening, traumatizing, anxiety-inducing environment for her and children who might be living in the FEMA camp after a massive hurricane, she's only being protected from such a dystopian future of 18-year-olds walking around the street with semi-automatic military-style rifles full of hundreds and hundreds of rounds of ammunition that goes 4 times the speed of sound and pulverizes people, their bones, their organs. That the only thing that's saving her from having to deal with 18, 19, 20-year-old, snot-nosed kids with ill-formed brains from patrolling her neighborhood in a menacing way is that she has a Democratic governor. And that is it. That's all she has between her and a country that allows teenagers to, or unhappy, grievance-filled back surgery failures, because it happens, I mean, I live with somebody who had a laminectomy gone bad. Okay? It's very painful. But you don't go shoot the doctor. But in this country, that's what you do. In this country, you could go to a gun store. You could be medicated. You could be on, God knows, oxycodone. You could be on roxycodone. You could be on a fentanyl patch. And even on the marijuana, if we're going to be, foxy about this, and still buy a gun to use an hour later to kill your doctor that you have a grievance with, and anybody that stands in your way. What kind of a country is this? What kind of a free society looks like this, smells like this, sounds like this, contemplates having a carnage channel, contemplates having to give, Sky 5 morning rush hour gun updates? Where like a weatherman, he's telling you, wrap the baby in the ballistic blanket. It looks like a lot of gunfire today. I mean, what kind of country are we doing here? What is the deal? What is it going to take for us to say assault weapons bans work? They lower the amount of assault weapons attacks. Is it going to stop all gun violence? No, hell no, it's not. But there are things that we can do, like background checks. There are waiting periods. There are things that we can do. You want to do a drug test? I'll do a drug test. I'm all for a drug test. You want to own a gun? Get drug tested. Doesn't mean that after you're sold the gun, you won't use drugs. Just know that. You can sneak. But maybe we ought to have some sort of safety training, some sort of a, you want these kids in the military when they're 18. Yes, because in the military, not only is there dry fire for weeks and weeks before they ever hand you a live weapon with live ammo, but you don't get to take that weapon home. That's not how the military rolls. You don't get to take it to the BX. You don't get to carry it around in your car. It stays in a freaking armory. And you have to qualify every year to keep that weapon.